Hello again, Pride fans. Welcome to another edition of the WB Mason Coach Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Dan Saverman with Shannon Smith, head coach of the Hofstra Pride women's lacrosse team. Pride coming with a big victory against Rutgers this past week, a 9-5 win. Now they're going to have a nice week off before Ohio State. But, Coach, first let's talk about that Rutgers game. Big performance by Britton Altamara, but overall a nice team effort to come away with a victory. What'd you like?
Yeah, I thought Britton played very well on the offensive side of the field. She was able to get players involved. Offensively, I thought we saw, Morgan Knox had a strong game for us, which was really nice to see. But I think we're still struggling a little bit in finishing the ball. 9 for 31 is not where we want to be, especially going into the month of April. So that's something that we're going to need to improve upon going into Ohio State. Though we did a much better job in our clearing game compared to the Hopkins game. That was something that we focused going into Rutgers. So I'm very proud of the team in that. Defensively, I thought we had a very strong showing all the way up until about that we had a 5-minute little mental breakdown in the second half where we lit up three goals to Rutgers, but that's something that we're going to focus on. We're going to get better in. Overall, nice win, good win, but there's areas of the field that we need to get better in going into Ohio State and going into our conference play.
When you mentioned about shots, let's first start on the defensive side. You hold them to just 12 in that game. What was working defensively to limit their chances?
We were communicating. I thought we were playing very well. We were sticking to our game plan, and the big thing was communication. We were playing fast at points, and that's something that we're going to need to improve upon going forward.
When you mentioned about shots, obviously the shot selection and whatnot, you're getting 31 shots, scored 9 goals, something you want to improve. But what positive can you take away that you're getting these opportunities, at least around the cage?
We're getting the opportunities, which was great, and I think the other great thing was the opportunities that we were getting were great shot selections as well. Maybe 4 or 5 of them weren't, but you're going to get that a game. It's now how do we get these great shots in the back of the cage, and that's going to definitely be a focus for us, because if we can finish half or a little bit more, 60% of those shots, we'll be scoring 16 to 17 goals a game, and that puts us in a great spot because defensively we are very strong.
You mentioned about Morgan Knox having a very strong game. She had a good campaign last year in her freshman year. What adjustment have you seen to her now in her second year?
She's more confident out there in the field. She's willing to take more risks. And I think she really worked on her cutting game and just being a little bit more of a dodging threat as well. So I'm proud of her, but we're going to still need a lot more from her going forward.
Well, you do have a lot of young players, and I know we've spoken about this over time, of course, with the veteran leadership that you do have. But with these young players, how I think they've been adjusting so far and communicating with everybody?
I think they're adjusting well, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the month of April, because it's a lot different once you get into conference play. You're going to be playing Fridays, Sundays. It's going to be very competitive games, both nights on Friday and Sundays. So, that's going to be something mentally that they're going to have to adjust to, and also physically, because it is a lot on your body. But we're going to prepare them for that during practice, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, conference play just really less than 2 weeks away, but first let's look at this weekend. You go to Ohio State, you get to fly out there. Very good team. They score more than 15 goals a game. They're a top 20 National League team. They just lost this past week. What do you expect from the Buckeyes?
They're going to be very strong. They have a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the field. We're very familiar with this team. We've had great 2 games with them the past 2 seasons, so it's definitely something we're looking forward to this week. We're going to focus on Hofstra for the first half of the week, and then we'll start worrying about Ohio State and implementing our game plan into practices. Defensively, they're physical. They got a great goalkeeper. So it's going to be a tough game for us. They're fast, they're athletic, and they're physical, and very well coached. But we're excited for the challenge.
Do they remind you of anyone in conference that you're going to be seeing in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, that their defense is physical like Towson and JMU, and I think they have offensive scoring weapons like JMU and Delaware and Towson have. But overall, our conference is very tough, and I think Ohio State's a great game to lead us up into our conference play.
Well, conference play we know is going to be very important going forward, but finally, Coach, how do you come away with a victory or really start to be able to generate some momentum going into that conference?
I think draw controls are going to be huge for us, so we have possession of the ball on the offense, and we need to shoot 60%. We need to finish our opportunities on Sunday.
Well, draw controls and shooting, that's going to be the key this upcoming weekend. When they go out to Ohio State, it'll be this weekend. Game schedule, more information, of course, go to GoHofstra.com. She's Shannon Smith, Dan Savarino. We'll catch you next week, Pride fans.